How's it going?
I'm wanting to date.
Yeah.
It's limited resources out there, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not getting on an app.
You're just not into
I'm
it.
old fashioned. I'm like, I need to meet you and sparks happen and stuff like that. Because I just believe people make up stories saying who and what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And
what are you looking for at this stage, this point?
A partner.
Yeah.
And when I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not intimidated by who and what I am.
Don't date 50 Cent and don't date no rappers. Vivica Fox dropped that advice at the Ultimate Women's Expo just weeks ago, and the internet completely lost it over those words. Millions of views piled up overnight as the clip spread everywhere, and 50 Cent couldn't help himself from responding within hours. Most people focused on the jokes and the memes and the headlines, but they missed what was actually happening beneath all of that noise. Vivica Fox is 61 years old right now, working harder than most people half her age, and she's being transparent about something most celebrities would never admit on camera. She wants love and she wants a partner, and she's putting that out there for everyone to hear. The reaction tells us everything about how society treats women, especially black women, who dare want romance after hitting a certain age. Some people are cheering her on while others keep telling her to give up and accept being alone for the rest of her life. The whole conversation has gotten wild online. What's actually going on with Vivica, and what really happened between her and 50 Cent all those years ago, and why are they suddenly acting friendly toward each other after 2 decades of tension, and why is her search for love at 61 sparking such a massive debate across the internet right now? Talking about her love life and all the drama attached to it requires acknowledging how legendary this woman's career actually turned out to be. Some people online talk about Vivica like she's just another celebrity chasing clout, but that couldn't be further from reality. 4 decades of relentless work built her career from nothing, starting with soap opera roles in the late 80s on Days of Our Lives, and Generations when nobody knew her name. Social media didn't exist back then. Viral moments weren't a thing, and none of the shortcuts available today existed for her. Showing up, auditioning, getting rejected, and pushing forward anyway became her entire life for years. The 90s changed everything for her career. Independence Day landed in 1996 and turned her into a household name practically overnight when she played Jasmine DeBro opposite Will Smith. That movie pulled in over $800 million worldwide and became one of the biggest blockbusters anyone had seen that decade. Being the girlfriend in a blockbuster wasn't enough for Vivica though, and that same year she starred in Set It Off alongside Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah, and Kimberly Elise. Anyone who hasn't seen that film needs to fix that immediately, because it follows 4 women who decide to rob banks after life pushes them past their breaking point. The movie became a cult classic and locked in Vivica's status as one of the most versatile actresses working at that time, capable of handling action and drama and making audiences laugh and cry within the same scene. Soul Food came next in 1997 and earned her MTV Movie Award and NHEFI Image Award nominations for her performance. Why Do Fools Fall in Love followed, then Two Can Play That Game, then Kingdom Come, and suddenly she was everywhere audiences looked. Quentin Tarantino came calling after that run of success, and her role as Vernita Green in Kill Bill still gets talked about constantly. That opening fight scene with Uma Thurman in the suburban kitchen remains absolutely iconic to this day because Tarantino doesn't cast just anyone for his films. Something special caught his attention with Vivica, and she delivered one of the most memorable sequences in his entire filmography. 250 credits sit on her resume at this point, covering films and television shows and projects across every genre imaginable. That kind of output isn't luck at all. That's dedication stretched across decades of consistent work, and here's the thing people keep forgetting about her. She's not slowing down even now. The relationship that refuses to stay buried, no matter how many years pass, deserves attention next. Back in 2003, Vivica Fox and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson became the couple everyone couldn't stop watching. Peak 50 Cent was happening right then because Get Rich or Die Tryin' had just dropped, and people still consider it one of the greatest debut hip-hop albums ever recorded. Da Club dominated every radio station and every club across America at the same time, making him the biggest thing happening in music, while Vivica held her position as one of the biggest actresses working in Hollywood. 2 worlds collided when they got together. Everything started at the BET Awards when 50 accepted an award and decided to shoot his shot on live television with millions of people watching at home. His exact words were that he wanted to thank Vivica Fox for wearing that dress, which was bold and risky and the kind of thing that could either work spectacularly or backfire completely. The gamble paid off though, and within weeks they started dating, and by the time they showed up together at the MTV Video Music Awards that summer, they'd become officially Hollywood's hottest new couple. The chemistry between them was undeniable because they looked good together and seemed happy, and fans got invested in seeing them work out. What went wrong came down to speed, according to Vivica's account of things. Going public happened before they really knew each other, and the media attention became overwhelming almost immediately. Every move got scrutinized, and every outing got photographed, and every rumor got amplified beyond what either of them expected. The pressure crushed their relationship before it could survive, and by fall of that same year, just months after that MTV appearance, everything ended between them. Vivica didn't even hear about the breakup from 50 directly though, which made it worse. A friend told her that he'd announced it on the radio without ever having a conversation with her first. No closure and no explanation, and nothing resembling a real ending. She later explained that looking back on it, he went back to being that tough guy because they'd really loved each other at the time, but he chose to end things publicly without ever talking to her face to face about any of it. Nearly 2 decades of back and forth followed that breakup, all of it playing out in public for everyone to witness. 50 would take shots at Vivica across social media, while Vivica would respond on talk shows and in interviews whenever asked about him. Mocking her appearance became something he did on multiple occasions, comparing her to unflattering images and making comments about her being bitter and angry. She called him out for what she described as problematic behavior toward women and said he had boy tendencies and couldn't handle a real relationship with a grown woman. The feud became one of those celebrity situations everyone assumed would never end because every few months, something would reignite the whole thing, whether a comment dropped here or a social media post appeared there. The tension seemed like it would last forever. Something shifted recently though, and it caught everyone off guard when it happened. Those comments Vivica made at the Women's Expo telling people not to date 50 weren't actually shade the way everyone assumed at first. A follow-up interview with TMZ had her clarifying that the remark came purely from her own personal experience and nothing more. Friendly advice to the girlies about not moving too fast and not going public too soon was all she meant by it, and then she said something that really stood out from everything else. Admitting it took her years to finally laugh about what happened between them revealed how deep the hurt actually went, even when she played things cool publicly. 50's response this time looked completely different from anything he'd done before. Instead of going in on her the way he might have a decade earlier, he posted an AI-generated picture of himself dressed as Morpheus from The Matrix, holding a red pill and a blue pill in each hand. The caption read, "Either way, I'm gonna have you in the Matrix. You know I love me some you, girl." But it's been 22 years, Vivica. Playful energy replaced the hostility, and it felt like the complete opposite of how he used to respond to anything involving her. Vivica played along with it too, responding in the comments that she'd take the blue pill. Joking with each other after all that history and all those years of public tension showed something had genuinely changed between them. Both of them appeared separately on The Sherry Show recently, and both acknowledged they'd finally made peace after everything. 50 explained their relationship happened at exactly the right time for both of them, and compared it to hitting the jackpot at a casino, saying it was less about permanence and more about being present in the right moment. Vivica admitted that looking back, keeping things more private and moving slower would have been smarter decisions. Going too public too fast destroyed what they had, according to her, but peace replaced all that tension now. 22 years passed before they finally closed that chapter, and honestly seeing two people who spent so long going at each other finally reach a place of mutual respect feels refreshing to witness. Where Vivica stands when it comes to love today comes down to her own words in multiple interviews. Being single and actively looking for a partner isn't speculation or gossip, because she's confirmed it herself throughout 2024 and into 2025. An appearance on Today with Hoda and Jenna had her talking candidly about wanting to find someone special, but she also made clear that doing things her way and refusing to compromise on what she wants matters more than rushing into anything. Dating apps won't get her attention at all, because she thinks people lie on them and she believes in old-fashioned chemistry instead. Meeting someone in person and looking them in the eye and feeling the sparks and letting things develop naturally is what she's holding out for. Everyone else swipes left and right and treats dating like a numbers game, but Vivica wants something more authentic than that approach offers. Some people think that's unrealistic, while others think it's exactly the right way to go about finding real connection.
How's it going?
I'm wanting to date.
Yeah.
It's limited resources out there, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not getting on an app.
You're just not into
I'm
it.
old-fashioned. I'm like, I need to meet you and sparks happen and stuff like that, because I just believe people make up stories saying who and what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And
what are you looking for at this stage, this point?
A partner.
Yeah.
And when I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not intimidated by who and what I am.
What she's looking for in a partner comes out clearly whenever interviewers ask her about it. Someone fun tops the list, along with someone who isn't intimidated by her success or her fame, and someone who likes to travel, and yes, someone who's going to let her go shopping without complaining about the bills. Joking in interviews about taking applications and not discriminating when it comes to nationality or background shows she's keeping her options wide open. Real vulnerability sits underneath all that humor and confident delivery, though. Companionship is what she genuinely wants, a partner to share this chapter of her life with, and she's not embarrassed to admit that, even though society often tells women they should pretend they don't need anyone at all. The response to her openness has been incredibly mixed, and honestly, some of it has gotten downright ugly. Certain corners of the internet keep suggesting she's too old to look for love, that her time passed already, that accepting being alone and stopping the so-called embarrassment should be her focus now. Cruel comments about her appearance and her weight and her age keep appearing, as if any of those things should disqualify someone from wanting romance and connection with another person. People keep invoking the philosophy of certain controversial online dating coaches to argue that women like Vivica have decreased value in the dating market once they pass a certain age. The toxicity has been intense, but it's also sparked an important conversation about how society treats women who refuse to disappear quietly when they're told to. The reality those critics seem to miss is that Vivica Fox built an incredible career over her entire adult life and remains successful and accomplished and financially independent without needing anyone's help. A man to pay her bills or validate her existence isn't what she's after. Wanting a partner comes from understanding that human connection matters, and companionship enriches life, and love doesn't have an expiration date stamped on it anywhere. The idea that wanting those things should stop just because someone turned 60 is absolutely ridiculous when you actually think about it. Finding love happens at every age for people all over the world, and the confidence required to put yourself out there publicly while knowing exactly how harsh and judgmental people can be actually says a lot about her strength and character. Her appearance and the work she's had done always comes up whenever her name enters a conversation, so addressing it makes sense here. Openness about having cosmetic procedures over the years has always been part of how Vivica handles questions about her looks. Breast implants and Botox are confirmed because she's never tried to hide that or pretend she woke up looking the way she does naturally. Her philosophy stays straightforward on the topic, explaining that if something makes you feel better about yourself and you're comfortable with it, then doing what works for you is the right choice. That's personal, and she's owned it without apologizing to anyone.
I don't know what was in her head to make her be a part of the surgery warriors, what she felt like she had to go do that. Like, is you cool, V? The whole BBL thing at 60 or almost 60, like, in my opinion, that is extreme.
People online love speculating endlessly about what else she may or may not have done to herself. Every photo she posts gets analyzed and dissected by armchair experts who think they can identify every procedure from a single image on a screen. Most of that amounts to noise and speculation that doesn't mean anything real. What actually matters is that she's navigated an industry putting enormous pressure on women to look a certain way, especially once they start getting older. Hollywood is brutal about aging because roles dry up and opportunities disappear, and women get pushed aside for younger actresses the moment they show any signs of getting older. Vivica still books roles and still walks red carpets and still commands attention after all these years, and that speaks for itself about how she's playing the game on her own terms. What she's actually been doing recently deserves attention because it's genuinely impressive and often gets overlooked in all the relationship drama coverage people focus on instead. Her directorial debut happened in 2024 with First Lady of BMF, the Tonsa Welch story for BET+, and this wasn't some small project either. A major biographical crime drama put her behind the camera in a leadership position, and that project earned her an NAACP Image Award nomination for Outstanding Directing in a Television Movie or Special. Think about what that means for a second. Decades of proving herself in front of the camera came first, then she expanded into directing and immediately got recognized at one of the most prestigious award shows for Black excellence in entertainment. That kind of result isn't a fluke at all. That's talent and preparation meeting opportunity at the right moment. Acting work hasn't slowed down either, and shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. Recent projects include The Christmas Campaign and A Christmas Murder Mystery and The Wrong Obsession and The Wrong Marriage, along with several other films across different genres. Holiday movies and thrillers and dramas and comedies all have her name attached, showing range that would impress anyone regardless of age. Just this month, literally days ago, she signed with Innovative Artists for representation across all areas of her career going forward. A major agency taking her on signals they see continued potential and marketability in what she brings to projects. Winding down isn't happening here because she's actively expanding her portfolio and her reach into new territory. Vivica herself has talked about how this chapter of her life has been booked, busy, and blessed, and that she's finally receiving the quality projects and opportunities she deserves after years of grinding through everything else. Never expecting this period to feel so fulfilling professionally is something she's admitted in recent interviews. The blessings keep coming her way, and she's accepting every flower being thrown at her without hesitation. 61 years old and arguably having one of the most productive stretches of her entire career is where she stands right now, and that deserves time to sink in. What all of this adds up to is that Vivica Fox represents something making a lot of people uncomfortable when they see it. A woman in her 60s refusing to fade into the background or accept the limitations society tries placing on her doesn't fit what people expect. Ambition still drives her and visibility still matters to her, and talking openly about wanting love and companionship still feels natural to her. Getting work done on her appearance when she wants to is still her choice. All of that happens while she remains unapologetically and authentically herself through every interview and every project and every public moment. Agreeing with every choice she's made isn't required to respect the fact that she's living life entirely on her own terms without asking anyone's permission. Hiding from public opinion isn't her style, and pretending to be something she's not doesn't interest her, and performing humility she doesn't feel serves no purpose for her. Complete honesty about her desires and her experiences and her mistakes and her journey is what she offers instead, and that takes real courage in an industry and a culture constantly telling women their value decreases with every birthday candle on the cake. Vivica clearly didn't get that memo about fading away. Or maybe she got it and decided to completely ignore it. Everything she's got going on right now, professionally and personally, suggests she has no plans to slow down or quiet down or fade away anytime soon. Being here and thriving and looking for love without shame is exactly where she's at and exactly where she plans to stay. Whether Vivica inspires you by putting herself out there so openly, or whether you see things differently, is the question worth thinking about after all of this. Drop those thoughts in the comments below and hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.